So, there have been a lot of good movies in the past. Well, since movies came out, I mean, you had Empire Strikes Back, Avengers Endgame, Dark Knight. Heck, I even love the Transformers saga. And actually, I even think X Men Origins Wolverine is really underrated. The only thing I really have against the movie is the CGI claws. But, anyways, today we're here to talk. Well, there's been bad movies, though, too. Fantastic Four, and, Men in Black International, and the other dog movie that came out in 2019. I don't remember what it was called. But we're here to talk about a different bad dog movie called Bark Ranger. And if you've never heard about this movie, I can't blame you. So basically, Bark Ranger is a 2015 movie. Cost a lot of money, $1 million. And I don't think it made any money at the box office. Either that or was never released into the theaters. So basically, a few years ago, I have never even heard of this movie until it was just free on Amazon. So I decided to watch it, and I hated it. Yeah. So then, recently, I decided to rewatch it because it was free. So I rewatched it, and I still hated it, but it wasn't as bad as before. So basically, here's what it's about. So there's a dog and a kid. Obviously, it's a dog. It's Bark Ranger. It's bark in the name. It's not going to be about trees or something. Would be 10 times more entertaining, though. So, right away, you already got these stupid, corny jokes from the dog. And, so I guess the kid has these friends, and they destroy his bike. He's like, I want some real friends. So then he's lonely or something, and the dog's like, yeah, you thought those friends were dangerous? Look at these guys. So, then you got Harry and Marv ripoff right away. And Marv ripoff goes in and pops a balloon, and security guard dies. I don't know where they really went into. They went into a cabin in like the middle of the woods or something, and the guy dies. So, yeah. And then there's just like there's a safe, okay, just laying in the middle of the room. So he takes it and just puts it in the back of the van, and they pop a balloon for some reason, and they die and crash. I wish that's what happened, but no, you gotta have a movie. So, after that, you go back to the kid, and he's lonely or something, and then a girl comes to town, and they go fishing. And the dog makes more terrible jokes. And then, I think you go back to the thieves, and they find a shack in the middle of the woods or something, and, you know what I think of when I think of an abandoned shack? Dead bodies and expired beans, because that's what they find, and they eat the expired beans and puke. And then we go back to the kid, and they're with the father, and the father's like, "Hey, you want to hear a story?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay." So the story goes like, "Oh, my great great grandfather Archibald Witwicky was like, he went into the Arctic and fell into a hole and found Megatron." I really wish that's what happened, but no, it's something boring about gold, and I don't remember. But, so I guess someone hid his gold or something. Um, yeah. So now it's kind of turning into Goonies, I guess. So then, after that, we go back to the thieves, I think, and they're trying to open the safe. And these are where two of the only funny jokes come into the whole movie. I mean, I've heard better jokes in Teen Titans Go, to be honest. Yeah, so, well, I don't really remember what happens next. Oh, wait, yeah. The girl is like, hey, let's find gold. And the kid is so stupid. He's just like, why? Well, genius, why wouldn't you want to find the gold? Maybe because it would make you rich. Yeah, so the girl has to remind him that gold makes him rich. And he's like, oh, duh, I forgot. Gold is expensive. So they go finding the gold, and then they give up after like 2 minutes. And then later on, the kid's depressed or whatever, and the girl's like, "You're such a jerk," which makes him more depressed or something. So he goes to say sorry to her when she should be the one saying sorry because she called him a jerk for no reason. So after that, they decide to go look for the gold again, and they go to a library or something. And the dog is like, "Hey, I know something. You know, okay, the dog. Okay, I need to talk about the dog. His lips are like CGI, and it's worse than. Okay, if you thought the claws from X-Men Origins Wolverine was bad, think again. I've seen better CGI on a dog than this. I've seen it in, I guess, the buddy movies, the Air Buddies and stuff. I guess maybe. Yeah, those were just overall better movies too. Actually, I can actually watch them without cringing the whole time. Whereas with this, I have to watch it and like I can't even get through the whole thing. And it's so boring. So yeah, so the dog's like, "I know something," and he goes to another dog and says, "Me kill you if you don't tell me something." So the other dog is like, "Fine." Well, duh. Why wouldn't you want to die? So after that, he brings a map or whatever to the kids, and the kids are like, "How'd you find this?" But he can't talk, so I don't get it. Anyways, so after that, they go looking through the woods, and the thieves find a house in the middle of the woods that isn't the shack. It's a different house, and they steal a person's car, even though they have a van. And then for some reason, they just leave the gold in their van for some reason. And yeah, that and then they find out about the kids, so they go looking for them because they know about the gold and they could have even more gold. And then I'm trying to remember what happens after this. This movie's so boring. Yeah, so they're just like wandering around, and the kids find the shack. They're like, "Whatever, let's just go somewhere else." And then the thieves get to the shack again, and the dog is there and bites one of them in the butt, I think. And then a doorknob hits one of them in the nuts. I'm not sure how that happened. I don't really remember. But, yeah. So then they go around looking for the kids for some reason. And then there's the whole joke about deer poop and stuff. And then, yeah, it's weird. So then eventually the kids find, uh, uh, like a little pebble of gold. And then the thieves get there. And some cops get there too, and the cops arrest the thieves. Because, of course. And then, finally, you got the end, the climax. Finally, I hate this movie. So then, they get back to the shack for whatever stupid reason, and then they just spin a wheel or something, and they find gold. Lots of it, too. And I'm not sure what happened. Um, See, and then I think it just ends there. I don't really remember. It ends. I think it just ends. That's it. Yeah, so that's Bark Ranger. That was hilarious. It's only got a 42 or something on tomato meters and like a 4 stars out of 10 on IMDb. But if I were to rate it, I'd rate it like half a star on IMDb out of 10. Probably point like 5 in tomato meters. I don't really like this movie. It's not funny except for those 2 parts I showed earlier, and it's just boring, cliche villains. Harry and Marv ripoff, trying to rip off Goonies a little bit, just not as good because you don't get sloth. So then nothing comes out of this movie. This isn't fun. It's not fun. It's not memorable. I completely forgot about this movie. And until recently, I saw it free. Yeah, so I'm not sure what else there is to say about this movie. I mean, why waste my time when I could be watching better things like Toy Story 3 or Dark Knight or Avengers Endgame or Spider-Man 2 or Star Wars Empire Strikes Back? I don't know. Maybe it's just because I was a little interested in if it was as bad as I thought. Which it wasn't. It's probably only the third worst movie I've ever seen because... Okay, make that fourth or fifth because now that I think about it, Men in Black International and that weird dog movie from the beginning of 2019 that I will review eventually will be reviewed. Well, at least it didn't try to rip off a Pixar movie. Like another movie that I will soon review.